to call this meeting to order. This is the Select Board meeting for Thursday, March, what are we today, the 10th? 10th. First order on the agenda, please, is a salute to the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda as written.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. I make a motion, we approve the minutes of the last meeting as written.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We have no old business. We have very little new business, going right into it. We have an appointment finally for the Cable Committee for Susan Meehan.
I make a motion, we appoint Susan Meehan to the Cable Committee.
Second.
All in favor? Any discussion, technically? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Great.
And Barbara, you have a contact with her? Could you let her know to come in and see Jennifer and get sworn in?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then we have an announcement from our cable.
Yeah, we'll be hiring Mike Corey to stay on the position that he has with the cable, as the cable director. Is that what you're calling it? Cable director? Yep. Manager. Cable manager, okay.
What'd you say, cable?
Cable manager.
Manager.
Yep.
And do you want to elaborate why we didn't have to do any interviews or?
Yeah, although Mike's resume and letters of recommendation were amazing, and of course his qualifications are very good because we've all seen what he's done since he's been in there, his was the only application we received.
Great. All right, opening it up to any other business.
Good evening. Ray Lopez. I stand corrected yesterday on the appropriation of funds to the library floor. I did investigate that, and I know that that did fall through. But I do have a couple of other questions. And one of my questions was, on yesterday's meeting, I see that the 4-H club was discussing the money that they were requesting for their budget. And within that request, they were talking about the flags for the cemetery.
No, Mary Yetton was talking about the services the 4-H club provides to the town. We as a town purchase the flags in a separate warrant article. The children of the 4-H club, with the help of the 4-H leaders, go out and put the flags at the veterans' graves. It's a 2 or 3 day project that they do over the weekend prior to Memorial Day.
Yeah, wasn't that before with the historical?
No, it's a crossover because we purchased the flags sort of through the Conservation Committee before. This past year we did not. And it happens that the chair, the last year's chair and the secretary of the Conservation Committee are the ones that take the 4-H kids out to do the flag placement, but it's not because they're Conservation Committee members, it's because they are 4-H parents.
My second question is, I see that one of the businesses here in town is going to be under new management, and we were told to inquire from the selectmen. Obviously, they were going to be submitting an application to open up a lounge or a bar, whatever it's being called. What type of establishment are they looking at opening over at Big Daddy's?
I think that all we have right now is the application, correct, Lorraine?
Right.
So they have submitted an application. They are doing business. Is their application in their business name or in their individual name?
It is in their individuals, but the business name is Iron Tails
Okay.
Saloon.
And we will be having a public hearing about that on the 24th of March.
Okay.
And there will be, they've paid their advertising fee correct, Lorraine?
Yes, I did.
So,
Next one is, I don't know if you've yet received a final draft of the budget from the school. I was just wondering at this point in time, with everything that's going on across the lower 48, as far as, the teachers paying into their pension and reducing of wages. And I know that under the current contract, the people of Acton pay for all their medical benefits and
right.
the schooling and
These are
that.
questions for the school board, not our board. And we have not been given their warrant yet. We will be signing the warrant, because that's our job, on the 24th. But their warrant, they have finalized it, I believe. I would encourage you to go to a school board meeting and ask those questions at the school board, because we do not answer questions for the school board.
Okay,
And they're meeting Monday with the warrant and finance at the school.
right. And my final question is the building and grounds at the school under,
That's the school's budget as well. That's the school board.
wasn't that before under?
No, it is part of the
It was never
school board.
before under?
No.
So that building and the grounds do not belong to the town of Acton?
That,
They
they
do.
may well belong to the town of Acton, but they are underneath the
School
kind
budget.
of the school budget. The school committee decides on the budget for those grounds and maintenance, other than the gravel that's on the property.
But I do believe if I was watching one of the programs on there, and that the grounds and the buildings used to fall under the selectmen and the town and
But I'm
stuff.
telling you, currently, the school committee budgets for the maintenance of their grounds and their buildings, okay? If they have a separate, if they have a special project that's going to be above and beyond what we'd expect in a school budget, they may come to the town, but for their annual maintenance and repairs of their properties, that's the school board, and again, that's a question for the school board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dennis Long, two things. One is, what's the salary for the cable manager?
That is a question for the cable committee. Ted, do you know what they decided on?
I think it was met, that it was going to be negotiated based on the qualifications of the person, so they haven't actually told him what it was, but I know he was getting, I think it was 12,000, whatever Carol was getting, is what he
12,500.
was, yeah, is what he was getting. And I think they're going to be negotiating that, but he's not going to be looking for any more hours than what he was getting before, so I don't know how much difference will be changed. There was some talk about him being, doing filming and everything, because he has been doing that. He's been filming the school, he's been filming our meetings and everything else, but with his other full-time job and this job, the filming was taking up too much of his time, so that salary will be negotiated for him, but he was getting whatever Carol was getting when we gave him the job, so I don't know what they're going to
Yeah.
negotiate with him now.
The other thing is, I've been going to the school meetings, and I've watched them on TV, and the budget, as you know, you was at the meeting the other night, is all passed and being written up and whatever.
Yeah, they voted on it the other night,
Right.
right?
It's been put out there that we're going to have two warrant articles in June to do with the school. One was to repair the roof, and the other one was to upgrade the intercom system.
Correct.
My observation of the past is, even though the school is a department of the town, in a sense, as you know, they're their own entity, their own control.
Right.
And it was stated on the TV that the school was a town building. And my experience going through this in the past, like with the gravel down to the school, and we made the new playground and different things like that, that all the property down there belongs to the school department. Okay? The grounds, the buildings, it belongs to the school department. And the school department is a department of the town.
Okay.
Hence, like you guys have been saying all along, the selectmen have no say, as you would say, over what happens on school property. That's up to the school committee, okay? And I'm just not sure, I understand what they're saying, but I'm not sure, for example, re-shingling a roof is a maintenance project. You know, it's not a capital improvement project. A capital improvement project is like when we built a new soccer field, or built the playground, or built a garage, because that's something that already doesn't exist. You know what I mean? So it's an improvement. Where the roof and the upgrading the intercom system really is maintenance.
What did the school board say about this when you asked them?
They said, what they said was, because I didn't ask them, because they said this at the school committee meeting, that the building is the town's responsibility, because it belongs to the town. So it should be on the June meeting, not at the school meeting, okay? But repairing a roof is maintenance. And if you read or listen to what Mr. Hadley said the other night on his description of what the state says this is part of your budget, this is what you put in your budget. And one of them very clearly was maintenance, the cost of maintenance. I'm not saying yes or no, whether they should shingle the roof or whether they shouldn't shingle the roof, but I think it needs to be clarified that this really is part of the school budget. And the only way the town owns that property down to the school, because we went through this years ago and we decided to sell that gravel. Okay, we went to the state, MSMA, the selectman at the time was involved, and the school committee went to the people and asked if they wanted to sell this gravel to bring money in to build a playground and stuff like that. It was nothing to do with the town per se. You know, this place up here, it was up to the people, yes, but it's not under the oversight of the selectmen. And anything that's a town building, they have to go through you guys to get approval to do it. And at the school, it's a school building, and the only way the town's ever going to own that property, per se, is if the school decides to move, shall we say. And the law is very clear that if the school moves and it isn't used anymore for school, then the property in the building reverts back to the town of Acton.
Are you asking a question of us, or are you alerting us to a concern you have for the school board?
I guess what I'm saying is, I want the clarification. I mean, I don't care when they vote on it. You know, they can vote on it tomorrow, they can vote on it June or September or whatever, but I just want people to understand that this is part of the school budget, regardless of when we vote on it.
Right, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're thinking that we're putting these two warrant articles on the June floor? We're not doing that, the school is.
Well, I'm just going by what the superintendent
Well,
said.
they're actually writing the warrant articles, and they're presenting these two major costs in separate warrant articles
In June.
in June.
And I appreciate
Yeah,
that, Ted.
and,
But
but
they made it very,
we're not putting it forward. I mean,
they made it very clear that it's not part of the school budget, and it is.
they're asking for two special projects is what
No,
they're doing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so they're not adding it into the school budget this year, because it's gonna be $50,000. It's gonna be $25,000 for the roof and $25,000 for the intercom system. Because as you know, the intercom system's
Oh, yeah.
20 years old and it doesn't work. So they are putting it forward to the town meeting as additional expenses for the school.
Exactly, which
Right.
makes it part of the school budget,
Right, yeah, but it's gonna be,
at a different meeting.
but they're gonna be special projects, it's not gonna be.
No, I understand that.
Yeah, So they're putting it for the town to decide, do we want to spend $25,000 to fix the roof on the gym? And do we want to fix the communication system so we have safety for the kids in the classroom? Because they can't contact classroom to classroom, so that's why they want to do it.
But
This is not coming from us.
I
It's coming from the
appreciate
school.
that,
And
but
we're gonna-
they made it very clear that it was a town thing, not a school thing.
I think that those are
And-
questions, if that is what you understood from them and you want clarification on that, we can't provide you with that. That, just as I said to Mr. Lopez, those are questions to get clarified with the school board at their next meeting.
But you can say at this meeting that these two articles have nothing to do with the town. It has something to do with the school. I'm not talking about the people, I'm talking about you guys are the overseers of the town.
Right.
Those people are the overseers of the school, and this is school business.
Well, the school is requesting it, so yeah, they're the ones that are asking for the money. The
Right,
selectmen
not
are
you
asking
guys.
for the money.
Okay, so I just wanted that clarification, because that isn't what was said.
Okay.
Any other business?
I would just like to clarify back with what Ray was talking about relative to the flags. Back when Vicky was here, for budgeting purposes only, she had the flags and the historical and the conservation committee put into a clump for budgeting purposes, but there's never been a historical committee through the town or a department through the town. The flags have always been, there is by state law, the requirement to purchase is by law, that the town is required to put flags on all veterans' graves. And the 4-H Club has volunteered for over 25 years to do the actual work of putting the flags out.
Thank you. We have some announcements this evening.
We do?
You have something else?
In reference to the special projects at the school, I'm sort of under the impression that what we vote on in the school budget meeting is the operating budget of the school. And anything on top of that, you know, they would still come to the town. They could possibly do it at the same meeting, but they'd be voting on one set of articles, and I think this would be separate because it's a capital expense, although it may not be a capital improvement, but they were talking about the operating budget.
Right.
That's the way I see it.
Thank you.
Okay, any other business before we move on to announcements? Okay, we have some announcements.
All righty. On March 16th at 6 PM, the Warrant and Finance Committee will hear budget requests for the town clerk, the town tax collector, the treasurer, the code officer, and the selectmen. On March 17th at 7 PM, the zoning ordinance changes will be discussed. March 23rd at 6 PM, the Warrant and Finance and Selectmen will hear the budget requests from the Fire Department, the Transfer Station, and the Recreation Department. March 24th at 6 PM, the Selectmen review the application for a liquor license for Lori Smith and Greg Martinez for the Iron Tails Saloon. On March 24th at 7 PM, the Selectmen seek input on a proposed merger of the Acton Ambulance Association, Rescue, and Fire Department. And finally, on March 26th, there'll be a memorial service at the Congregational Church, at the top of the hill, at 4 PM for John Moore, followed by fellowship and food at the town hall.
Anything else, Bill? Anything else you just want to share? Okay. No, Ted, anything that you want to share?
No, thanks.
I have a quick adding to the John Moore service. The family we are coming back here. It's open, of course, to everyone within the community that knew John, and we will be having supper here. It is by potluck. Jennifer is keeping a running list of those people who wish to bring something to contribute to the potluck. If you are interested in doing that, please see Jennifer. Any genre of food is, of course, welcome, and So that will be, she just asked that food be brought to the town hall by 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, because the services start at 4, and there will be no one here to receive it at that time, because people will be up at the church. And quickly, I don't think it will make it in time for the broadcast on TV, but for those of you in the room, the Owls are hosting a corned beef and cabbage supper on Saturday from 4:30 until 6. And I think the ladies that are cooking it up know what they're doing. So all of the vegetables are being cooked in the meat broth, juice, the meat juices. So they will be fully flavored, and there will be a lovely dessert buffet as well, and they have wisely left me in charge of baking the rolls and nothing else. So I would encourage people to come. It starts at 4:30, and it's to support the older, wiser, liberated seniors that are here in town. So.
Just to add to that, I think that, to let everyone know, the Owls group has grown in proportions. We had, I think, 40-some
Yep.
at our last meeting.
Yep.
And yesterday, of course, was not a meal, it was just coffee and snacks, but I came in through, and you would thought there was 100 people here by the sounds. They were just chattering away. So I think that this is a very beneficial organization or opportunity for the senior citizens here in town.
I would agree. It's also the 1-year anniversary this month of our first luncheon, and Lorraine's right. At that first luncheon, we had about 20 people, and to now, we usually count on 40 to 45 people for luncheons, and it is really great to see. Most of the people are over 70. I think we can say that. There's a couple of couples that are in their 60s, but a reason to get out of the house, and they look forward to seeing each other, and it really has been very, very gratifying, so that's been great. And we have a big birthday this month as well. You want to fill us in on that?
Well, Aunt Helen Wentworth,
Yeah.
at the end of this month, will be 106 years old.
Excellent. Happy birthday to Mrs.
She is
Wentworth.
at the ledges right now. She fell.
Lodges.
What's that? Lodges, not ledges, lodges. They're right down on 109. She fell, and while they didn't find any break on the x-rays, they do think there's a compression fracture because it's painful for her to walk. Other than that, her mind is still fine. So
106.
It's on her birthday tape, and it will be on hopefully the last 2 weeks of the month.
Great. Great. Thank you.
On the 23rd, is that meeting at 6 o'clock with the Warren Finance?
Yeah. All of the warrant and finance, and we're calling them workshops with the department heads because the people will be able to ask them questions on the floor. All of those department heads will be there. So the purpose of the workshop between the warrant and finance committee and our board is simply to hear the department head requests. And where our board will not be altering them in any way, it's not a time really for discussion. So these are workshop meetings between the two boards and the people that are presenting. So, okay, anything else, gentlemen?
Could I ask a question? It's probably everybody knows but me, but...
Can you go to the mic, Barbara?
Iron tails.
Barbara, do you want to?
I have a hunch.
We'd like to hear the dulcet tones of your voice over the PA system.
And we like to treat everyone equally, Barbara.
Barbara Seeker. Where is the Iron Tails Saloon?
They're going to be moving into Big Daddy's. They've applied for a liquor license with us, and we're just starting the process. 2 weeks from tonight, we'll have the public hearing, and then we'll go through the process. They've paid for
That's all I
advertising and
wanted to
everything.
know.
So
Thank
they're taking over Big Daddy's.
All right, last call, everyone. Speaking of saloons, anyone have any other business? Okay, let's make a motion.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.